I went to Turkey in February for breast augmentation and I now have an infection where the incisions were made. My GP is not being very helpful. What would be your advice? Hmm. It's really hard. It's really hard, and we do get this. We do get this people who've been abroad for surgery who have got problems, and I don't see them because I completely understand why um, they are desperate for help. Um, the, the problem is when you do this surgery, the way it is set up is that the surgery is paid for. It's a fixed price package for the surgery and the aftercare. And as a doctor, we've got responsibility to our patients. Um, and we don't the system in this country is not set up for an aftercare package. You might say we should have one. Well, we haven't just got an aftercare package. If you pay for breast augmentation here, it's a lot more expensive than a breast augmentation in Turkey. That's why people go to Turkey or wherever. And it's kind of like now you're realizing why. It's because perhaps, I mean, I don't want to be bad about whatever certain places, I don't know, but if you are getting problems, it might be that is why it's so cheap. You might think, why is it so cheap? This is great. I'll get it done half the price. I'll save thousands of pounds. Look at these idiots having it done in the UK. They're wasting their money. Well, this is the problem. You kind of often only realize it once you've got a problem, and I guess the onus is on us to explain to people before they go, to say, look, you have to make an informed decision if you're going to get that surgery cheaper. But you've got to think about why is it cheaper, and accept that you might have problems like this, because you will find that you will have difficulty with people giving you help. The NHS is only a certain amount that they can do. If you've got kind of really bad problems, they will help you. But if you're just not happy and you've got problems with your wounds and things like that, it is difficult. And it's kind of like, if you think of it from someone who's had surgery in the UK and spent all the money to have me do the surgery in the UK, and then you spend less money to have it done at Turkey, and then I do your aftercare, it's like, well, why, I so I would say, and I know this is probably not helpful, that the onus is on the surgeon in Turkey to look after you. So you're saying the GP is not being very helpful. Well, it's the onus is on the people who did the surgery. And really, I don't know how it works with these places. Do they not have representatives in the UK, or it is the people who did the surgery who need to help you. And certainly from my point of view, I want to be the person that is helping. If someone's got a problem, I don't want them to be on some Q&A with some, or ringing up some other surgeon saying, oh, please help me because my GP's not being helpful. I'm like, forget the GP. You should be coming and seeing me. I don't even want you to phone the GP. I want to be helping you. So, that's the problem here. The problem is that these places, and if they're not, then, well, I don't know. And that's the other problem with going abroad. As I've always said, that it's not necessarily bad surgeons abroad, good surgeons in the UK. The problem is we don't know how it's different. We don't know how it's regulated. You don't know who to go to. You don't know who to say, look, what's going on here. In this country, we have regulatory bodies. We have the BARCs, we have the GMC. You have places you can go and say, look, this doctor is not looking after me properly. Have a word with him. And we would get severely reprimanded and taken to task if we don't look after our patients post-operatively. So, but your doctor in Turkey, it seems to be that some places can just ignore you when you've got a problem, which is unbelievable to me. But I don't know what to say, and I'll tell you now, I don't tend to, I'm very happy to do this. I'm very happy to give you advice on like this. But once you take it on as a surgeon, once a surgeon takes you on for your aftercare, they're then responsible for you. They're then responsible once the incisions have healed, once the infection's gone. If the breasts are all wonky, if you've got the scars are all bad, then it becomes that surgeon's responsibility to try and fix that. And it's very hard doing revision surgery. It's very hard when you get infections, if you have to remove implants. you know, it's hard to come back from that. And no one really wants to take that on. Obviously, we have to take it on if it's our own patients, but you will struggle, I suspect, to find people to help you. And I don't know what the answer is really, but you know, it's just trying to get the message to people and being informed. And I don't know if you were informed. That's the other, you know, did you realize this was, you know, did you kind of go in with your eyes open that this was the gamble you were taking, and now this has happened, and it's like, well, what can you do? You know, this is why you saved the money. And as I say, my advice is go to, you know, ring up the Turkey people and say, look, I need help and I can't travel back. Or maybe you do need to travel back. I don't know what the aftercare arrangements are. You know, maybe you need to say before having the surgery, what do I do if there's a problem? You know, maybe you need to make it clear. But I don't know. Maybe people don't ask these sorts of things. But yeah. So what's my advice? My advice is go back to the Turkey people, and they should look after you. That is that's what should happen.